And even inside of that, Montana, if you think about when we talk about ETFs, I know we talk about XLK, the technology, Spiders technology ETF. The top two allocations are in Montana, right? So you got Apple and you got Microsoft. And if you talk about XLY, which is it's consumer discretionary, you have Amazon as a top allocation and you got Tesla. So you have the top two in both of those ETFs. So, I mean, if you look at it from that standpoint, I know you're talking about two tech, two indexes. Even from the ETF standpoint, that acronym
It's
has
there.
four of the players in those two ETFs.
Yeah, and I want to give everyone a quick tip. I gave it an InvestFast. For everyone else, I won't give it out everything. But if you go to macrotrends.net and click on stocks, stock research, it'll tell you the top 25 companies. There's no different. Like, I'll go back to the basketball analogy. Ladies, I know you hate when I do it, so I'm gonna make it fast. If I'm picking 4 or 5 companies, I want the first 5 people that are the best for my team. I don't want the 64th best player from Iowa, and I think he could develop into, like, whenever you have to pitch something too hard, and this is what I said about fund managers with Bitcoin. Same with Kathy Wood, because when you put so much time into the media, it makes the research time a lot tougher. Same with Kramer at one point. Kramer was the hottest thing on earth when he did his show in 2007 and 2008. But when you're working 12 hours a day on media, it's hard to do the research. You don't need a whole bunch of companies. Please write in chat. I only need 4 amazing companies to bring me an amazing amount of wealth. Great. And same, if you look here, Dream Team, we have core members. If you look at the lineup for Earn Your Leisure, they don't have 85 shows. Shout out to 85 South, right? But there's only a few shows. Great. And then now in the next division, you'll do more things. So please keep it simple. I know it is terrifying and I know it's scary, and I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in every week and trusting me, but I'm giving you this information 4 to 6 months before most hedge funds are. VOO, VTI, Apple, Microsoft, they're not going away anytime soon. And Apple and Microsoft haven't even got aggressively into the healthcare space, and YouTube or Google, they haven't even aggressively gotten into podcasting yet. Mark my words, in 4 years, Google will be the #1 record label and #1 podcast label on earth. And people don't even know podcast, the name came from having to listen to it on an iPod. So when we're talking deal structure and having a conglomerate, okay, if people are getting deals for 60 million and 50 million for a podcast or show, what do you think Apple is making on the back end? Having good homework question. How many podcasts does Apple currently have on their app that upload every week? So if I told you there's a record label in Africa that has signed 460,000 artists, and it's the #1 place everyone artist wants to be, you're going to be like, let me invest in that. That's what Apple, like Apple's podcast division on its own could be a Fortune 500 company. Spin off iTunes, same thing. They are a mega conglomerate. And the crazy part is, when we've had conglomerates in the past that were either oil or gas based or real estate based, people were not fans of the brand. The fanaticism may not be the same as it was in 2013 or in 2004 or even in the early 90s, but they have a fanatical fan base that still supports them and buys everything that they release. And I'm one of them. And even though I think Android phones are better, the ecosystem is still a hell of a lot better. And camera companies have to be very, very, very careful too. If Apple gets upset enough and they start making ARRI Alexa quality cameras and films, because you can shoot 4K on your phone now. So if they have a podcast division, and then of course video is going to get bigger, what is stopping them from making a camera that can go into your Apple TV or your MacBook to make studio level content? DJI would be in trouble. ARRI would be in trouble. One of the greatest companies on earth. Just invest in the conglomerates.
Do it.
All right, so let's talk about social media. Social media wars are heating up. Google executive reports that 40% of Google searches are being stolen by TikTok. So which are the 2 social media companies you would invest in for the next 10 years? And let's talk about what is that TikTok stealing Google information? What's that about?
In terms of search. So now when people are looking for information opposed to going to Google and looking up what's the best restaurant, what's the best pizza place in New York I should go to when I'm in town. People are now going to TikTok and saying, where in the Bronx should I go to get pizza? And shout out to Liz. She explained it. She's like, it's much easier to see a 15-second video about the place and you can feel if the customers are happy versus a Yelp review or text-based. So when we're talking YouTube has a search engine, we have to remember TikTok is a search engine as well. And the virality that they have, I haven't seen anything like it probably since 2005. Facebook. Like you can literally get on TikTok, and if depending on how your algorithm is set up, you can, even for me, I'll get on TikTok at night and I'll go through like my little conspiracy channels and right. Did you know that there's other continents hidden behind the ice wall? Right. And then I'll go past for an hour and TikTok like, you know, we love you, but you need to take a screen break. And I'm like, no, I don't want to take a break. I need more info. I haven't done that on Facebook. Kudos to Meta. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Frederick. Shout out to Alvin. Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg. I'll be there soon. I appreciate you. But I have not spent that much time on Facebook in years. Like I got locked out of my Facebook account for 2 months and damn near did not care. If I got locked out of TikTok, I would be calling Chris and anybody I know. I may have to make one of them calls the Keys made to you when he had issues with his passport. I'm like, Shotty, please let the TikTok gods unlock me, right? So whenever they are publicly traded, from an investment standpoint, I would like them. And I like Snap for a swing trade. If I have to pick a second one, I would say that it would be Meta, but I would have to get it at such a deep discount. Maybe at the, let me get a price. I mean, I hate to say it, especially when I'm about to have a meeting with them, but it got to be true. The price that I would love to acquire Facebook at would be like $60.52. That's my low to boat price.
So for TikTok, I mean, ByteDance still owns them. ByteDance owns them.
ByteDance.
Yeah, so Chinese own. So if we're looking to invest in it, you're saying like that would be it too? It would be ByteDance.
Those are the only two to invest in.
By way of having TikTok and then Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's their ticker? Do you know?
ByteDance?
While you're researching that, I'll talk about TikTok. Yeah, it's definitely it's a great way to find things. And I learned that from my son when he was he like wanted to go to all of these weird places like this snow cone spot in like Coney Island and different burger places in Jersey. I'm like, where you finding this stuff? And it's like TikTok. And you know, they do reviews. I'm sure you've probably seen it. They do like voiceovers, reviews, like, oh, I did this in Philly, best cheesesteak, top 3 cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. And it's actually something that a lot of people trust. You know, it's interesting because they just trust it just because it's on TikTok and it has a lot of views. They don't even know who the source is coming from. It doesn't even have to be a reputable source. It just, if it makes your page, you see it, and you'll just say, okay, why not?
Yeah.
So that aspect is very, very beneficial for TikTok. That I think that they have an advantage over everybody else when it comes to that, because like rooftop spots, and I got put on to a few spots like rooftops and different speakeasies and stuff like that from TikTok.
And STK for the $500 date idea.
Well, I didn't get put on from to STK. I was already familiar with STK, but that is something that could potentially make a TikTok list. Top 5 steakhouses.
Good.
Fire.
Yeah.
Earn Your Love dropping on Valentine's Day.
Stay tuned.
In the works.
Stay tuned.
In the works.
Just stay tuned alert. It has officially been issued. Stay tuned.
I kept telling y'all, massive investor, invest in everything.
It's funny until it's not funny. It's funny until it's not. Earn Your Love.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.